Wolf of Fantasy Sports, Dfs Wolfpack, Superdraft, NFL $125,000 Red Zone, 25K to first place. One of my favorite contests to enter in all DFS, $20 entry fee. Let's start. This is my first look. Quarterback position. Kyler Murray's a 1X for a reason. He's one of the best quarterbacks on the season. He has 8 rushing touchdowns in 8 games so far this year. Has a rushing touchdown in all but one game. 2 rushing touchdowns in one game. He's doing it all. He's Lamar Jackson of last year. So Kyler Murray, 1X, viable. Will have exposure to him. Russell Wilson, I'm off him at 1.1. Just give me Kyler. Josh Allen at 1.15 in play. GPP. I think people, if they go this route, they're just going up to Kyler. Aaron Rodgers, 1.2x, not bad. I prefer Deshaun Watson at 1.2x or Herbert. I'll have exposure to both of them. They have good pass targets to pair them up with. Herbert, Keenan Allen, Deshaun Watson. Will Fuller has a touchdown or 100 yards in every game so far this year. And now if you look at Cooks is getting a lot of targets after that donut game. So I think Cooks is viable as well. And if you want to get real contrarian, Watson, Cooks, Fuller in this Cleveland matchup. I don't think too many people have that. And if it goes off, you'll be at the top of GPPs if you get everything else right, of course. Jared Goff, 1.25x. He's going up against Seattle. Seattle's giving it up the most passing yards to the quarterback position. They're number 1 by far. Josh Allen just threw over 400 yards last week. He was my bounce back candidate of the week. He helped me cash in almost every lineup last week, so that was awesome. So if you're looking at Goff, 1.25x, this is a get right spot. They're at home. You know who to pair them up with. Wentz, 1.3x. I'm off of that. I'm off of Roethlisberger at 1.3x. I guess there was some type of COVID scare. Who knows if he's playing. He's got to test negative all week. He's in the same situation. I don't think he can practice. He's in the same situation as Matt Stafford last week. Potential to play. Most likely he ends up playing in this game. Breeze, 1.3x versus San Fran. No thank you. Tom Brady, ultimate GPP play, 1.35x, coming off his worst game in his career. Versus New Orleans, who has his number. Tom Brady, 1.35x. Good GPP play here. He's got enough receivers. He's got an elite core of receivers. At 1.35x, guy could throw 4 touchdowns here, or it could be a complete dominant run game with Fournette and Ronald Jones. You got to pick your poison. Tom Brady could be a GPP winner in Superdraft at this multiplier. I could see it. Matt Stafford, no thank you. Let's see here. Carr, 1.4. Let's find a good multiplier. Burrow in a real tough matchup versus Pittsburgh. Although, that defense didn't look good versus Dallas. That was a letdown. So Burrow here, 1.5x, contrarian play. That's somebody. That's a sneaky GPP play if you want to go that route. Bridgewater put up 30 DraftKings points last week versus Tampa. Tougher matchup, 1.55. I'm going to avoid that. Danny Dimes, 1.6x. This could be his breakout game. His best game on the season this year was versus Philly in Philly. Now he's at home. So, not too into that. But not on Superdraft. On DraftKings, I'm into that play because he's 5.2K and he could get it done. And I think he could have potential for a 25 to 30 point output. So GPP only if you want to take a chance. Drew Lock, last week was the last 2 weeks was the time to get on Lock versus Vegas. He's in play. Not my favorite. Tua, 1.6x. Here you go. You saw him throw 2 touchdowns last week. Had a better game than his first. And I think he's just going to get better from here on out. And Chargers find a way to lose. So Tua, 1.6x in play. Really like that for GPP. I will have him in a lineup for Superdraft and for DraftKings this week. Alex Smith should get the start, 1.8x. There's a multiplier for you. Versus Detroit, I could see 2 touchdowns to F1. Maybe LT3 gets in the box. One of the other receivers. Viable. The pass catchers, JD or Gibson, they could go off in this spot, running the football, or JD could catch one from Smith, and then he has 2 to McLaurin. He has 3 touchdowns at 1.8x. It's a viable. probably won't go there. You can pick anybody you want on Superdraft. It's not salary based, it's multiplier. So you can play whoever you want, so I doubt I get there, but Tua at that multiplier, I'll take a chance on it. And then if I'm going up, I'm going to have Brady for GPP. I'm going to have Watson, Herbert, Goff, and then Kyler Murray and Allen. So those are my guys. For the first look, I will lock in. I'm going to lock in Watson. David Johnson, concussion, could miss the game. Duke is a pass catching running back. He could catch one. One to Fuller. Two to Cooks. This could be. And then Houston's defense is not that good. So check Baker, see if he's playing. And this total is decent. So I could see this working out. I like Watson. First look, super draft. Going down to Aaron Jones is 1.15. I really like him this week. So I'm going to lock him in. Aaron Jones could be 1x. And I might still play him. So he's 1.15. I like that. Looking at McCaffrey, if he's out, Mike Davis, he's somewhere down here. He's only 1.4, so he's not really ideal. I wouldn't play him on Superdraft. At 4K on DraftKings, I play him over there if McCaffrey is out. Kamara, 1x. Looking for a multiplier here in a good spot. James Conner, bounce back, 1.35. He's in consideration. Robinson, 1.4x versus Green Bay. He's no Dalvin Cook, but we've seen him put up some monster scores. Versus the Chargers, he put up over 34 DraftKings points. So Robinson at 1.4x. The weather could be windy. If it is, they could lean on the run a little bit more on both sides. That's why I like Aaron Jones and Robinson. You could play both running backs. Maybe not a lot of people go that route. That could be contrarian. That could get you to the top of GPPs if they both hit. Edmonds, 1.45x. Buffalo could get beat on the ground. Edmonds' first start, we didn't really see a big output from him, so maybe this could be it. And he could possibly come in at low ownership. Gibson, 1.6x. Good play. Fournette, 1.65. I could see that working out. Zach Moss outsnapped Singletary last week. 1.75. That's an ultimate GPP play. McKissick, 1.75. That's a good GPP play. Now Duke, 1.85x versus Cleveland. Revenge game. Let's just put him in the first look. I like that. We're going to put him in the first look. We're going to hope David Johnson is out in 1.85x. Hopefully he catches a passing touchdown from Watson. They both accrue points from that. And it's a good spot. It's a good spot. And he should be the go-to guy getting all the usage. So that's what we're going to rock with. We got Watson, Aaron Jones, Duke Johnson with that multiplier. I always try to give you guys a multiplier play who's in a good spot. And 3 weeks ago with that Burrow stack, that all hit. Let's try to do that again. We got a Houston stack going here. Adams, I don't got to tell you, he's a good play. Even at 1x, 30-point upside here. Hopkins, if Trey White is out, Hopkins is my guy this week. And coming off a bad week, burned a lot of people, especially the people who had Kyler with Hopkins. Kyler crushed, and just to have Hopkins put up nothing, that had to be a real heartbreaker for anyone in GPP that was in contention. Metcalf is a man amongst boys, and even if he sees Ramsey here, if it's one-on-one, he's got a shot to do damage. Michael Thomas, play him on DraftKings if you want exposure at that cheap price, but with this multiplier, I'm not touching him in this matchup. Robert Woods in play here at 1.3x. Where's Cup? Cup's below Woods. Okay, we got to check that multiplier on Cup because it could be good. Woods is in play, definitely. Pass catcher versus Seattle. Seattle's giving up the most yards in the air. Perfect spot. Tyler Lockett in play. Could be a bounce back spot for him. I could see this game going back and forth. Keenan Allen always in play. 1.3x. He should be like a 1.1, 1.2. He's been dominating. 1.3x. I like it a lot. Someone I'm going to have exposure to. So far I like Woods, Hopkins if Trey White's out, Keenan Allen, Diggs leading in yards and leading in. Is he leading in yards and targets? He's leading in yards and something else this year as of right now, going into week 10. He's dominating. So Diggs is Allen's favorite target, this highest total in the week in Buffalo and Arizona. So obviously Someone you have to consider: Mike Evans, Antonio Brown. We don't know who's going to have the big game here. It could be the running backs. It's Carolina. Will Fuller, 1.35x. I like that. Let's check the... there's a lot of good plays here. 1.45x. I got to lock in Cup. I just got to lock him in. That multiplier is too good. I think he saw 20 targets last week. And in this matchup, it could be a back and forth affair. High total. Really good multipliers all over the place. McLaurin, Landry, Christian Kirk, 1.5x. Saw he had a big home run play last week. 1.5 and Antonio Brown. We'll wait till that chemistry gets a little better here. And I think, see what Carolina does versus that defense. It's going to be a tough one. Deontay Johnson, 1.55x. He makes it through the game. It's a crush smash spot. And Brandon Cooks, the multiplier is too high, 1.55x. There's a lot of good receivers this week for Superdraft. I'm going to lock in Cooks. I got a super stack going on Superdraft of Watson, Duke Johnson, and Brandon Cooks. And then I got Kupp versus Seattle. I got Aaron Jones. I'm loving this right now. It's a good first look build. I'm going to leave 2 spots open here because this is a lineup I'm going to run. So tight end position, I'll give you a tight end. Obviously, Waller the baller. One of the best tight ends in the league this year. Hawkinson, if Galladay is out, at 1.2x. I really like it. He's a red zone threat. And the guy's been seeing more targets. Ingram, 1.35x. Gotta love it. Tanyan, he had a big game where he put up 3 touchdowns. So that's always in the back of my mind that he could have a blow-up week versus Jacksonville. It's a good spot. So it's 1.35x. You got to consider him. Now, Font's out. The backups bagged up. We don't know who that tight end is. But if you want to try the third string guy, he's like 2x. He's got to be. You got to look on the depth chart to see who it is. Goddard, 1.5x versus the Giants. He didn't do much last week, but this is a good spot for him. And he could be the blow-up tight end of the week. He could definitely put up a big score. Someone you have to consider: Gesicki. We haven't seen it yet, so that's under the radar. 1.5x. Henry. He did get that touchdown. He had a targeted the red zone that he didn't come down with, but it's only a matter of time before he gets a touchdown and sees 5+ targets with 50 yards or so. So he's due for a big game. Ebron, 1.6x, good multiplier, red zone threat. Cincinnati, see who the quarterback is. See if Roethlisberger makes it through the week and plays. Looking at Cook, he doesn't get enough targets. LT3, viable option. I mean, you got Fells, you got Akins. I don't want to go that route. We got some good options up here. If Galladay's out, I want Hawkinson. Ingram's in play. And then you got Goddard versus the Giants. I think those are really good options. First look, I mean, I want to go with Hawkinson. I think he's the same, or Waller. I think you just go with Waller here. But you got to look at Goddard. So this is my first look build. We're going to play it safe at tight end with Waller. I like the targets. The guy could get up to 10 targets and 2 red zone looks, come down with a touchdown or 2. Derek Carr's go-to guy. Looking at Cooks, Kupp, Duke, Aaron Jones, Watson. This is Superdraft. This is a super stack, Houston super stack on Superdraft. Hopefully this gets you to the top of the tournaments. Fill in the other 2 spots. Good luck. At Wolf Fantasy Sports, at Dfs Wolfpack. Hit me direct. Sign up for my Patreon. I'm going to post some skeleton builds on Superdraft. And last week, all of them hit. DraftKings, I put you guys in a good position to win. I gave you my bounce back candidate of the week was Josh Allen. Pair him up with Diggs. Run him back with Lockett, Moore. Dalvin Cook was lock, 100% lock. I got my lock plays of the week. And you get 24/7 access to me. Any questions, season long, who to pick up off the waiver wire. You get all my information. 24/7 access. Hit me direct. DFS Wolfpack. Let's get it. 1.